We love Star Wars, and honestly, who doesn't? With The Force Awakens releasing in less than a week, we thought it was time to give you our top 5 favorite lightsaber fights so far that have happened in the shows and the movies. This is pre-Force Awakens, guys, so if those movies have some awesome lightsaber fights, we're gonna make it into the list. Starting off the list at number 5, we have a fight from the Clone Wars TV show. Darth Sidious versus Darth Maul and his brother Savage. What made this fight so awesome is that we got to see the real power of Darth Sidious. He was matched up against two very strong opponents and he never even broke a sweat, easily parrying the two's attacks with a sinister grin on his face the entire time, until he finally manages to overpower them and kill Savage, as he lets out an evil laugh. It also showed us Darth Sidious' true power and what made him the strongest Sith Lord throughout all of the movies and TV shows. At number 4, we have the fight between Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker at the end of Return of the Jedi. It's the most fast-paced lightsaber fight in the entire original trilogy, and it had so much more behind it than just a fight. Throughout the entire battle, the Emperor is trying to turn Luke to the dark side, feeding him messages such as, "Let the hate flow through you." And at a point, it seems like he's letting his hate take over, as he smashes down Darth Vader's lightsaber, finally cutting off his hand to reveal Vader had a robotic hand, just like Luke Skywalker. At that moment, things changed for Luke and Vader, because Vader fulfilled his destiny of bringing balance to the Force and becoming Anakin Skywalker once again. Next up for number 3 is Kanan versus the Inquisitor. The fight we're talking about is when Kanan believed Ezra was pushed to his death, and he fights with 2 lightsabers. This one made the list because it showed how awesome Kanan really is with a lightsaber. He ends up using Ezra's and his own lightsaber to overpower the Inquisitor. It's also when Kanan loses his fear and starts to believe in the Force again, making him a much stronger Jedi. At the number 2 spot, we have the best part about the Phantom Menace, and that is Darth Maul versus ObiWan and Qui-Gon. Most Star Wars fans can agree that Darth Maul was the best thing that we got out of the first trilogy, and at the end of the Phantom Menace, we finally got to see him in action. Also, his double-bladed lightsaber was just awesome. On top of that, he knew how to use it, fighting 2 powerful Jedi with ease at first. Also, besides Darth Maul, we got to see Qui-Gon fight as well, and he was just as impressive, showing off what a true Jedi is when he pauses in the tunnels and meditates as they wait for the doors to open back up, and then he quickly goes back in with his attacks. Sadly, it ended up with him dying, and we thought it was the end of Darth Maul, but he did make a comeback in the Clone Wars. And finally, our favorite lightsaber battle, which can come really as no surprise, was Anakin versus Obi-Wan at the end of Revenge of the Sith. Everything about this fight was awesome, with the backdrop of the molten lava to the planet of Mustafar, and it was by far the most action-packed lightsaber fight in all 6 of the movies, as well as the longest. The action alone is what put this fight on the top of our list. It showed the true powers of both fighters, from the endurance to athleticism, with their flips and crazy Jedi jumps. Of course, Obi-Wan overcame Anakin when he got the high ground, but it makes you think, how could it have turned out differently if they had stayed on even ground the whole time? And this is our top 5 lightsaber fights. We'll see if any of the fights in Force Awakens can bump one of these off the list when it comes out. But what are your favorite fights? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below.